I'm Mr. Daps.
And I'm Johnny 5.
And it's raining in space.
It's raining in space.
They might not be able to hear it, but I can hear it.
Yeah.
So we got Tatooine behind us. That's Tatooine, right?
Yeah. I hope so, yeah.
I hope so too.
We're orbiting Tatooine.
It sure looks like it to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you may have noticed that things look a little bit different tonight.
Yes, and I don't know
how it works.
How you've noticed this. What I think you'll be seeing right now is, unless you've enabled 3D for this is actually a 3D video. We have uploaded it to YouTube in 3D, if all goes according to plan. And there should be a little button that you can click to turn it into 3D. So if you have red and blue glasses, then you are better than I am. Because I've been trying to find these for weeks to edit properly.
But they're on pretty much every website.
You can get them online.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to dapsmagic.com, there's an Amazon link on the right that you can click the search in, and it's right there.
There you go. So get some 3D glasses and watch it that way, or you can watch it by crossing your eyes, which is how I've been editing all week.
Can you demonstrate real quick?
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Ooh, creepy.
Sometimes they get stuff like that.
So why are we in 3D tonight?
Why are we in 3D?
And why are you Johnny 5?
Because 3 is a number, and it's the third number, and D is a letter, and it's the fourth number, so it just follows 5.
That was a stretch.
Unlike all of my others.
You were not prepared at all, mate, were you?
No, I put thought into that as I was coming here. I've had a very stressful week. I don't know.
He was here at that studios. So was it 5 o'clock?
I got home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, he got home. I think he left
last
at
night.
5.
But above and beyond that, if you remember some of the things that we were doing in preparation for this episode, it's been pretty hectic and pretty disappointing for me. But we're in 3D because Star Wars Episode 1
is coming out
released in 3D.
Not because of the Muppets, but
yeah. And we've been talking about 3D since almost day one. I think every episode we've given it. I have been wanting to do a 3D episode for a while, and now I've finally gotten to do one, and I don't think I want to do another one for a while.
It's fine. With that in mind, we're going to make this the best darn 3D show we can.
Best darn 3D
and
show.
employ every cheap trick possible.
Did somebody say cheap 3D tricks?
Yes, we did.
Woo!
And our first cheap 3D trick is going to be invite somebody else onto the set, right?
Ooh, I like that cheap 3D trick.
So we're going to invite Merlin over.
Merlin.
We're not going to use snap magic, because look at that. Look at how close he is.
Oh.
Did you see the 3D?
Yeah, I see it. It's right there.
Yeah.
From our perspective, it looks like we're looking into short circuit, I think.
Yeah, it does actually. There's the 2 eyes.
Yeah.
And totally.
I see what you're saying.
Johnny.
Looking at the camera.
It's the other Johnny 5.
It is.
There's one here and one up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're bringing Merlin in here because we need to talk about Episode 1.
We do.
And we just watched this do research the other night, and there's 2 characters in particular that stand out in Episode 1 that maybe be loved and may not be so much.
I know where this is going, and no.
You're not in Episode 1, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not Episode 5.
Oh, okay. You're not in that either. But Jar Jar is.
That's where it was going.
Jar Jar is, and so is Anakin Skywalker, which totally changed the history of time of Star Wars. So, first off, clearly you're not a fan of Jar Jar?
I try. I really try. And I just can't be. I don't know.
Why?
It's hard to put a definite reason. Just in general. Just, I don't know. It's too comical.
Is it too much like you? Is that what the problem is?
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable.
Comments if you think Jar Jar Binks is like Johnny 5.
I've never electrified my tongue in the back of a pod racer.
Yet. Keep watching the show. You don't know what will happen. What do you think, Merlin?
Oh, I think Jar Jar might be. It could have been really much more interesting than he was. I think the fact his voice was kind of weird, and people thought it'd be annoying thing. The idea of the character himself and his role, I thought was kind of integral, as he's the one who ends up actually proposing in Amidala's place for the emergency powers and stuff. So it's kind of an integral part of the story. But they probably could have done something with the character to make him a little bit less annoying. That part that people don't like.
Like making him a Muppet.
Or if you did it by Sean Connery, I think would have improved it.
Case in point, Johnny 5 was Jar Jar Binks.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, I think so. Comments. 3D comments.
Use that keyboard. Directly below.
Would 3D comments be like this?
So the question then becomes, if he's that important to the plot line, what happens if you take him out? Wouldn't it have been a better movie? Just asking.
We got one.
Something like-
One for episode.
Because while we were doing our research, there's a part at the beginning where Qui-Gon Jinn rescues Jar Jar Binks. What happens if he doesn't rescue him?
Yeah.
How does that change the course of Star Wars history?
He kind of gets tackled by him, really.
Yeah. But it saves his life.
Yeah.
So, what if he didn't?
They would have to find another way to get to the Naboo.
Anything else? I was kind of hoping we thought about this a little bit before.
This was not a question that you had told us to think about.
I didn't tell you any of the questions.
Exactly.
It's called critical thinking.
Well, then why are you being so critical?
It's critical thinking!
Good question, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would the movie been better if he'd have been killed at the very beginning?
Yes.
Let's talk to the audience.
But see, then you would have been able to mourn the character, and then it wouldn't have had enough time to
Way
get
better emotion.
Yeah.
I prefer mourning over annoyance.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Because
Or
then he
more
can be honored,
interesting.
revered.
What if you just changed the character so that he had a different look? I mean, if he was
So he didn't look like...
Qui-Gon Jinn's type characters or any other character like that wasn't annoying, I think it was his persona, not necessarily his role.
Are you saying Qui-Gon Jinn should look like Jar Jar?
No,
Also?
I'm saying if you had Jar Jar look, or even his voice, or all those annoying characteristics, if you take those are all in his personality and his character, but not necessarily his role. So I'd say
Yes.
they could have changed Jar Jar's role, or his character, not his role. Let me say that right.
So he had the same purpose, but a different way of coming about it.
I think that could have vastly improved it.
I hope so.
Maybe George Lucas should not let little kids write parts.
Moving on, little kids. There is a little
One
kid
essay,
in
and I get in trouble.
episode 1. It's so true. Anakin.
Greedo. Oh,
Anakin.
yeah.
What did you guys think of Anakin?
I remember seeing this movie when it came out, though I do not remember it being, 14 years old? Something like
It
that?
was 1999, so was that 13?
13, something like that? Yeah, that floored me.
Isn't that interesting that we're releasing it 13 years after it's...
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so I remember seeing it in the movies and then rewatching it. That was some acting.
How do you mean?
No, I'm thinking Liam Neeson.
Continue!
No, there were a lot of moments that we found that were fun. I don't know.
Yippee! Yeah, there's the point where he's like, "Whoa!" and he's shaking his head back and forth, and it's like your ship is just kind of going like this, and he's going like this. It's like, I don't get it. I don't know who thought that was a good choice. But the basic premise: do you think Anakin, that storyline, should have been explored for the new trilogy?
No.
Thank you, audience. What happens? So just for those of you that didn't know, this is a spoiler alert. Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
No!
I don't think he fit that little cute kid that can't act becomes a big guy in a helmet.
He's not.
Who sounds like James Earl Jones?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I won't even say that. But do you think it was? Do you know what I was gonna say? Do you think it was a good idea to explore the backstory of Darth Vader, or is it better to just have this?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about that because my personal philosophy is that if you're going to sit down and watch any movie series, you watch them in the order they were produced, not necessarily their chronological order. So like Monsters Inc. came out first, and then they're coming out with Monsters University, which is prequel.
So you would still watch.
So if someone had never seen, if you're going to watch this with your children who haven't seen any of it, start with Monsters Inc. and then go to Monsters University, because prequels will build off of what you already know. And I feel like it's the same way in Star Wars. If you start with Episode 4 and you find out all the really cool plot twists and things like that, and you discover
You're
them.
genuinely surprised.
You're genuinely
Yes.
delighted. And then you go back to 1 through 3 and you find out how it got to that point. Versus if you start at 1, then there's no reason that these movies have any shock value or any surprise. You know what I mean? It takes, or not no reason, but it
Right,
takes a
but
lot
they're
out.
releasing them 1, 2, 3, 4,
Exactly.
5, 6,
I
which
wish,
ruins that.
if I were in charge, I would have started with 4. I would have done them in the same order that they were originally produced.
I would too.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting thinking ahead, and this is a guess on my part, is Peter Jackson's releasing The Hobbit, which really is a prequel
Yeah.
to The Lord of the Rings. I have a feeling The Hobbit's not going to ruin The Lord of the Rings if you watch it first. Just saying.
Probably not. What order were the books made?
It was The Hobbit and then
The Hobbit first and then The Lord of the Rings? So there you go. You know, that's, the Lord
So
of the Rings was built on.
maybe the moral of the story is he should have started with A New Hope and continued forward instead of going backwards.
Yeah, I think that's...
Because when you look backwards, when you're trying to walk forward, you always walk into a wall.
Or in a circle.
Or in a circle, or a tree.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, you're not going to get very far.
Mm-hmm.
So, Anakin, yes or no?
I would say no.
He's got an interesting story, like, backbone. I was gonna bring that up later.
Not interesting at all.
It might have been interesting if we had somebody good at it.
Like Sean Connery would have been...
Again, I don't necessarily think it's a story, it's the way it's told.
No, I think there's fatal flaws in the story. Because I think
There are some contradictions.
the new prequel, or the prequels, ruin the best episode of Star Wars, which is number 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only time I will ever say that. Moving right along
The only time you'll ever say the number 5?
is the
That
best.
hurts me deeply.
Yeah, I know.
I'll say 5 for you if you want.
What is next?
Oh.
You know, we decided that we really like the show Top Gear.
Yes.
We do, right?
Yes.
I do.
And so we thought it would be fun to recreate some of their wonderful segments, and in the spirit of Top Gear, we thought it would be fun to have the producers give us a challenge and we would do this challenge. So Johnny 5 and I went on a trip to Tatooine this week.
Yep, that place right there.
Yeah, right
Maybe
there,
3D
which is
down.
why we're still
Oh, wow.
local. And, well, should we tell what they said? Or I think we talked about it in our segment.
I think
So,
we do, yeah.
Let's roll this video, and you'll find out what challenge the producers had in mind for Johnny 5 and I.
Roll.
Welcome to Tatooine. What do you think?
I am very excited to be here. I'm kind of regretting the jacket choice, but
Yeah, it's a little bit warm. But,
yeah, it's a tad toasty out here.
But you said we had to wear leather jackets to.
Because we're racing.
Yeah.
This is the epic first installment of the DAPs races. Do we want to put a
And
name
since
on
we
it?
did have to travel so far, we did film this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Taking a cue from Top Gear because we love that show so much.
Mhm.
And also taking a cue from Top Gear, we have turned our respective sitting locations, desks, couches, whatever,
Yeah.
into our pod racers.
Yes.
So
yes.
tell me about your new pod
So
racer.
this was a challenge. It's a big heavy couch.
That's
and
old.
Yeah, and it's an old couch. So so all the newer power sources wouldn't really connect with it.
Mhm.
They weren't compatible. So I
Yeah.
had to go to a junkyard and find an old power source. And we had these microphone stands laying around the studio. So I thought just for some flair, I would have these be my pod racing controls.
Do they do anything?
Yeah, I hope so. I wired them into everything.
Have
so
you
they,
tested this?
Of course not.
Okay.
I wanted to bring a fresh vehicle onto the race course.
And how fast is this supposed to go?
Oh, I don't know, probably 5 speed units, 5
seconds.
5 Mach warp
Uh-huh.
distance.
Okay.
I didn't really do my research.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
Tell me about yours.
I honestly don't know that much about mine, but I know it works because I had the penguins work on it.
Wow.
And as opposed to you with your funny handle things, I can control all of mine from this handy dandy keyboard. So
Nice.
to go right and left, I just push the arrows
Okay.
up and down so I don't crash into anything.
Uh-huh.
And all I have to do is hit P to go.
Wow. P for penguin?
I don't know. I
They
guess.
just told you pee?
Yeah, and then I've got the screen with all these displays on it, so it tells me if I'm about to die. I
Okay.
don't know exactly what that's all going to do, but what I'm told is this is pretty much as easy as a video game, and it'll be faster than everybody else.
Alright, well with your fancy dancy
We do have a
electronic
crack engineering
technology.
team here at DAP Studios. Well, they're at DAP Studios,
Yeah.
wherever it may be.
We're in Tatooine.
We're not even on the same planet anymore. How weird is that?
It's weird.
And we can breathe.
Yeah. That was lucky.
Yeah, especially since you just walked out the door.
I tend to do that. But anyway, enough chit chat. Let's see if technology on a little wooden desk is going to be any match against actual physical controls and precision in a big couch. So you ready to race?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Not gonna talk about it.
You're just an amazing racer.
Okay. Desk has wheels, couch does not. For the record.
Desk was floating, couch was not.
Either way.
Moral of the story, pick your engineers wisely.
Moral of the story, don't do anything on your own. Ever, for any reason.
Ever. So we're going to continue on with our discussions and move on into more of a debate. And we're going to invite Jessica up and watch her cream Johnny Five's block, I believe. Is that correct? I will admit, we've had a sad.
The boys have not. I haven't been representing for the boys very
The
well.
boys have been losing for 2 weeks in a row. We'll see if it happens for a third week in the first Great DAPs Debate on YouTube. We've done it on DAPs Chat, and now we're doing it on Geeks Corner because I love it so much.
If you heard the DAPs Chat debate, let us know in the comments using that keyboard.
Thank you.
I'll press a button.
Hold it up. I'll press a button. That reminds me of our minor.
3D experience.
Where's the penguins when we need them? Oh, that's right. They were fixing my desk. Okay, so your question to debate, and I will decide the winner. Should Anakin have been allowed to become a Padawan? Ladies first. Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
Is that like one of those little like squash kind of things?
If you think that, you've already lost.
Okay.
Well, position that I have is no, he should not have been allowed to be a Padawan. He should not have been allowed to be a Jedi. And just first off, he's annoying. He's
Okay.
really annoying. I mean, why would you waste so much time training this little kid that's whiny and just as annoying as Jar Jar, in my opinion? It's just a waste of life. It's a waste of life.
Then by life you mean midi-chlorians? Is that correct? Rebuttal.
First of all, midi-chlorian sounds like a musical instrument that you use to clean your pool. But my position is, yes, he should have been allowed to train. And if we're going with the argument that he's annoying, so is Luke Skywalker.
That is true.
Apple didn't fall far. So, but you have to pull back and look at the big picture because a lot of that one.
Okay.
It's such a big picture. Look at it. When you're distracted.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Needs is
But yeah, I mean, because he was allowed to train,
you know, he became a Jedi. Yeah, he fell to the dark side, but you know, look at you know, like you do. But he still caused Luke and Leia to happen. We almost had another cheap 3D. Would not have been coffee. And you know, because of that, I mean, Luke was able to train as a Jedi because it was in his blood, because his father was a Jedi, and all of that stuff was able to happen.
And how is this a good thing?
Because it is.
Okay.
QED.
Oh, right, okay. Second point, Yoda thought he was too old to train. Now, why would you go against Yoda's word? I don't know. But why would you?
Why would you
Why would
argue
you
with
go-
someone with that big of ears?
Because he can hear everything that you say.
It's true.
Yeah. So why would you go against Yoda's word? He thought he was too old to start training.
Johnny?
So
It's hard to know if you're going with or against someone's word when their words are out of order.
Wow.
Because, I mean, if he's saying train him, you should not, but you stop listening after train him, I think that you're going right with what he wanted.
And that's why you're not a Jedi, Johnny.
it's exactly what.
Oh.
Well, and
We went
all
there.
of this.
Yeah, what is this? So, we have Yoda.
Someone in the audience says.
We have the Yoda argument,
Mhm.
the annoying argument, the history of the world argument for you.
Because also remember,
Actually, the history of the galaxy would be a more
this
proper-
happened a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So none of it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
No, but
it does. Because people debate this every day around the
Exactly.
world, and
if you pay attention to chaos theory, you know that a butterfly flapping its wings can
we
cause
don't have
me to
butterflies
say
in
a good
that
argument.
galaxy.
It's true. So an Ewok flapping its wings can cause so many different things to
I'm
happen.
docking points for that argument.
Watto flapping his wings can cause a pod race to change. But you know, so if all of that hadn't happened, what would our present look like? Because those prior events had not happened. I ask you.
You need to ask her. You're
I asked her.
not me. So the question then becomes, if Anakin doesn't become a Padawan, if I'm rephrasing you correctly, if Adawan?
If you add a one.
Oh, okay. But if he doesn't become a Padawan, how does it change the history of the galaxy? Is that what you're saying?
He stays a slave. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan stay on the planet.
The movie's
and
much more
can't-
enjoyable.
Get anywhere.
Jar Jar
But I
dies.
feel like
Jar Jar dies.
I feel like regardless, he would have been brought over to the dark side regardless.
You think
That's
think
an
little
interesting
slave
point.
kid on Tatooine?
Actually, that's a really interesting point, because if, let's say he's brought over to the dark side anyway, without becoming, going through the Jedi training, if he goes straight to the dark side, then he doesn't meet Amidala.
Mhm.
Then is there balance to the Force?
No, I don't even think that
So
could
that's
be
actually a pretty strong argument for, you just made a strong argument for him.
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Kinda? I think that's what I heard.
Yeah. I heard it too.
To
If
be
you
honest,
comment.
Keep going, I'm sorry.
I don't know, like, I just feel like he would have been found regardless, but I mean,
Might still
yeah,
be
so
wrong.
if it supports his side, then that's fine, but I mean,
In fairness, it was always the plan. He was
Yeah, like-
always going to be in the dark side, whether he was trained or not. So it would never have changed anything.
But what about the balance part?
Wasn't there a vision that foretold it?
Well, they didn't know who it was for.
Oh.
They just knew that someone was going to come that would bring balance to the Force, and they thought it was Anakin.
But there's no saying he wouldn't meet Leia or Padme later.
If he met Leia later, that would be a very
Yeah.
weird.
now that you're bringing
Kiss her
in,
brother.
He didn't know members, maybe he did bring balance to the Force.
There you go.
but now that you're bringing in Padme,
Sure.
brings me to another thing,
I thought we were talking about Amidala.
well,
That's
Same difference.
anywho,
Hallmark, it's
Speaking
new.
speaking of Padme, Jedis aren't supposed to have attachments. And he was pretty attached to his mother, yeah. And he gets attached to Padme and his mother, and you're not supposed to have attachments like that when you're a Jedi. And if you do have attachments, you're not supposed to be so emotional about it. You're supposed to be able to withhold those emotions.
Rebuttal? No rebuttal? Then you get 15 seconds to sum up your case. Whoever wants to go first can go first.
So Johnny.
Anakin should have been allowed to train because he did in fact bring balance to the Force, even if it took 6 movies.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Well, toward the end of it, Luke brings his, goodness and everything, so kind of throws it off balance again because Darth Vader dies and it's just all happy and good again. So is there really any balance? No.
But it's skewed in the direction of good, so.
Here's what we're going to do. You can't rebuttal. Dark side, huh? This is saying something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point at Jessica, and you guys can cheer.
By round of applause, home audience.
Well, not the audience here. And then you
You're
have
going
to
to at home.
I can.
So you guys, wow. That's the far one. Okay. And then the near guy. Wow.
I got a couple.
And we have our answer. The girls are now 3 weeks in a row.
No, you said you were going to decide.
I just did decide.
He decided by letting us decide. It's delegation.
I'm the king of delegation. Haven't you learned this yet?
I have.
Okay.
I learned that early.
Use his ears.
Yeah.
That's,
That was a fair way to do it. Even on TV. We're almost TV. We're on YouTube. So, girls who won again, maybe next week the guys will pull it off. We'll come up with a new game. Actually, it won't be next week. It'll be in a couple weeks because we have Valentine's Day. And you can't have fights on Valentine's Day. That just isn't a good idea.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. But we did promise cheap 3D tricks.
Did somebody say cheap 3D tricks?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and today
We're going to throw this one at the camera.
no, we're not.
I didn't sign a waiver.
No, we're not. Today I sent Merlin out to surprise Johnny 5.
Thanks.
With 3D tricks. Oh, you know you love it. Roll it.
Johnny! Whoa! Dude, what are you doing? You scared me. I know, isn't that awesome? No, that's not awesome. I'm mad at you now. See, no, man. No, that is not cool, dude. You know what? I hate you. I hate you. That's how that goes. Yeah. Serious? Yeah, I hate you. Why? Because you scared me. And that made me angry, and now I hate you. And now, you're gonna suffer. Okay. Whoa. Dude, I gotta go film. It's not that late. No, I gotta go. I'm sorry, we'll do this later. Okay. And now it's later! Ah! Dude! Ow! Why did you do that? Just your hands. I know, I need that hand. Before. And I have 5 fingers on it. You still have 5 fingers left. You should be thanking me. Now you don't have 10. You're right. You're a really good friend. Thank you. Yeah. All right. The lightsaber.
And Johnny loses again.
And not cool. Not cool at all.
Yes, it was. You're the one who tried to cheat.
I tried to cheat?
Clearly. I have to go now. We have to film. It's still daylight, but I'm gonna go film. We never filmed during the day. We've done that once. That didn't work
See,
very well.
you contradicted yourself. We never filmed. We did it once.
I just remembered.
Ah!
Did you know he was gonna back you up when you attacked? When you got him to lower his defenses and then you attacked him?
I never told him to lower his defenses.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Robert still has all his hands.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a lightsaber battle. Someone didn't lose a hand.
It is so true. Yeah. You just cheat. This is why we don't play games. But we do go to a website.
Wow. Why is over here?
We haven't talked about tonight.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude!
Check out my site.
.com. Who checked it out this week?
I didn't yet, but I will say, I was actually going to do that, but I can't swipe the screen anymore.
Yeah, you should have thought about that. So you should all go check out checkoutmysite.com because we can't write. Well, I could, but I'm not going to.
Well, then I won't do it.
No, we're
I
talking
will-
about Star Wars.
I
I
will
really
say-
doubt their Star Wars theme this week.
Dude Girl, if you're watching, I was
We'd like to
talking-
see a 3D. Do check out my site.
that also.
.com.
But Dude Check Out My Site has gotten so ingrained in my mind that I was actually trying to have a conversation about Dude Where's My Car, and I physically could not say it for the first couple times I was trying. Like, oh, it's like that movie,
See how
Dude.
easy
Check
it
no,
is to
Dude.
influence him? No wonder you went to the dark side.
Dale Carnegie wrote a book about me. How to win friends and influence people. Is the, because you said influence. Dude!
Check out my site.
.com!
Yeah. That was. Can we just move to the next segment?
I was waiting for you to, actually.
I think we should throw it out of here and. Well, Egon asked to help again.
Yeah.
He liked the cow bit so much last week that he asked if he could do another interview this week. And so, since this was a Star Wars themed episode,
We found him someone to interview.
we found him someone to interview who's not necessarily exactly from this movie, but he's more interesting and he's slightly insane. So, roll it.
Welcome to Interviews with the Insane, where we interview the insane. Today my guest is the original Man in Black, the Dark Lord himself, the man, the Sith, the legend, Mr. Darth Vader. Welcome, Darth.
We meet again at last.
Now, Darth, let's kick off our shoes and just talk man to man.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
So I can't really ask the guys around here because, well, we all work together. But can I ask you a question?
As you wish.
So there might be one, or two, or six even, weather girls who aren't returning my calls.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
Sure, but you can't force them.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Well, I guess that's true.
I sense something. A presence I've not felt since.
Hey, Mr. Vader, did you say you had a good hand, guy?
You should not have come back.
Oh, right, sorry.
Wow, that was really,
Impressive. Most impressive.
impressive. Most impressive. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Interviews with the Insane. Tune in next week for another interview, with the Insane. Have a DAPS magical week!
We do too. I'm glad you survived that.
Yeah, I'm glad I survived that.
Why? What were you doing?
I needed
How do you know Darth Vader?
well, when he came into the studio, I had to sit down. Right. Don't. No. I'm closer to
Are you
you.
trying to be your mom?
My mom is on Twitter now, so if you guys want to follow her, I don't know what her Twitter handle is.
I've seen mom.
There we go. So it's I on A, the letter I, the letter M, the letter A, stage mom.
Of course she is.
Yeah. So I follow my mom on Twitter. How often do you get to hear that in your web shows?
And now we're going to do a surprise segment to end.
To end all surprise segments.
I honestly don't even know exactly what it is, but we're going to invite Merlin back onto the stage and show more 3D with paper that we don't really know what it is. Hi, I'm back on stage. So I was given by some of our production team this piece of paper before the show that hopefully I can read. And, the segment is Would You Rather?
Okay, I remember that one.
And it says give reasons why with
Give
exclamation
reasons.
point.
Oh.
So you can't just say which one you want, you have to tell me why you would rather.
Is that why like who, what, where, when, why, or is that why like X, Y, Z?
Explain.
So it's like an X.
So should have gone with your other hand.
Lightsabers back in the other room.
No, that's okay. We're doing Would You Rather.
First one, would you rather have Jar Jar Binks or young Anakin Skywalker as your sidekick? Remember, they're both equally annoying. This is a tough one, I know.
Anakin,
Just
he won't
remember.
eat my food.
Wait, what?
He won't eat my food, like rudely, just.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
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 That's disgusting.
I would actually go with
And he might
Anakin.
actually be helpful.
Yeah, I would go with Anakin as
Until he
well.
goes to the dark side, but.
He is, he's very handy with mechanicals and stuff. Like he built.
Yeah, you know what? If Anakin had been your sidekick, you might not have been stuck at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, he would have fixed my couch.
Or made it even work.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have used microphone stands that pretended to do something.
I used what I had available to me.
Probably would have been better walking.
It was hot.
Oh, I like this one. Number 2. Would you rather be a Jedi, like Qui-Gon Jinn, or a great wizard, like Gandalf the Grey? That is such a good question. Well done, production team. I have honestly never seen these before. I'm impressed. Good one.
I'd have to go Gandalf. Because
A Star Wars episode that you came up with? Go ahead.
Because, well, it's the difference between these aren't the droids you're looking for and you shall not pass. I mean, one just has more power.
They
than
both
the other.
die though.
So it's a moot point. You can't use that in any case. Some people have not forgotten that we've done a cow episode.
It's never getting forgotten. Merlin.
Do I have to answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, your name is Merlin.
Yes, that's a good reason right there.
Anyway, what's your real reason, Andrew?
No, I'd probably go with Gandalf because he's just amazing. Lord of the Rings, he's got all the magic, and you say he shall not pass, but he also is like Mithrandir. He affects change in many places.
Mithrandir, is that
So there's
a chemical that
No, that's his other name,
oh
and it's not Mithril either.
Can we step back a little bit?
no, because then we'd hit the window.
Just ask us a question.
Okay.
What movie is Gandalf the Grey?
Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Thank you. What movie is Qui-Gon in?
Another reason to be
One, the
Gandalf.
Phantom Menace.
I rest my case. Would you rather have saved Jar Jar Binks or Anakin Skywalker? Which one would you save?
Is this like one of those Spider-Man things of one's in the cable car and one's falling off the tower?
Sure.
And you have to say one or the other?
Yeah.
Like, which world are we living in?
Which one do you
Okay.
say?
That's what it sounds like. I would almost have to say Jar Jar, just because then you wouldn't have Anakin wrecking the timeline.
But then you have to keep listening to the guy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so weak, you're gonna be able to get rid of him if you really want to.
So I'm gonna save you, and then I'm gonna kill you. Go ahead, Johnny.
Try Anakin's training first.
I don't know.
You have to
That's a
decide.
hard one. I'll go Anakin again. Because Jar Jar.
Because he's on the dark side.
I'll kill you.
You're putting words in my mouth and I don't appreciate that.
You are wearing a black glove.
Red.
Black glove.
But he's got red too.
Yeah, you're dressed just like Darth Maul. Comments. Anyway, continue.
If I were Darth Maul, I would have Dolph. If I were Darth Maul, I would have anti-hands. That's a food court joke and it's amazing. Anyway. Silent laughter. Comment. But Anakin, because Jar Jar has already grown up and matured, and that's how he's going to stay. Anakin is going to continue growing up and becomes less annoying as time goes on.
You don't know that.
I don't know that, but I have a better
You've
chance.
seen how annoying he gets when he grows up. That would be the second and third movies.
Yeah, don't you remember the line about the touching the back and how it's like sand or something? Isn't there a line like that? It's pretty much the worst makeup line I've ever heard.
Romancing the Stone. I honestly thought.
Moving right along, would you rather
movie.
be Darth Maul or Qui-Gon Jinn? I have a hunch that I know how this is going to turn out, but we'll see.
Die.
Yeah, so you're going to die either way. Which one are you going to?
Darth Maul because he has a scooter.
Told ya.
He does. He has that little like scooter thing.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, when we were watching it, the comment was something to the effect of, they make this crazy cool villain, and they give him that to ride on?
But then he does the backflip off. I mean, Darth Maul is cool. He's got.
You're helping me chase, bud.
I'm just saying. You asked me what I'd rather. Versus Qui-Gon Jinn who sips tea.
I just hope nobody runs out with a lightsaber and starts
I don't know,
eating
he's
it at
convincing
Disneyland.
me now.
Anyway, which one did you choose, Merlin?
I'd probably pick Qui-Gon.
Because he's cool.
Why?
Yeah, he's on, yeah, that's a good reason.
He's got an awesome accent, come on.
He's got the awesome accent. He's just kind of a cool guy, you know, good mentor. He
least
made a
guys
mistake
like
in thinking Anakin should have been trained or not, but you can decide that. But I mean, all in all, he's a really good Jedi, powerful, and he's not afraid to do what he thinks is right, even if it's against the will of the Council.
He has integrity.
Wow.
Yes.
He has a backbone.
Mine has two lightsabers that are attached to each other.
Yeah, a lot of good thinking.
I think to cut those lightsabers in half before you kill them.
Okay. Then I have two lightsabers and I will wield them.
Would you?
I don't know why.
Would you rather? Moving on. Pod race for a living or be part of the Cantina band?
Cantina band. I've tried pod racing. I'm not gonna do it again.
Didn't work so well for you.
Nope.
Definitely Cantina band. Music is a lot more fun and less dangerous.
You wanna do the song? Not planned. That happened.
And I apologize for it. With that, we have definitely run out of time.
Yes,
and for those of you that are still watching, we will see